What's going on? It's Fuego here, and today I'm gonna bring you guys the best free-to-play deck in Clash Royale, man. If you don't like spending money on Clash Royale, you're not whipping out that credit card, I completely understand, and this video is for you. So, to address the elephant in the room, yes, I'm using two Evos in this deck. We're running the Evo Archers and the Evo Tesla, but if this rings a bell to you guys, these are actually evolutions that were released for free in a crown challenge by Supercell. So honestly, big props to Supercell for releasing these Evos for free, because I'm always a fan of making Evos more accessible, because they have kind of been behind a paywall for some time now. So the fact that more free-to-play players are getting access to these evolutions is honestly just a great thing in my opinion. But regardless, even if you don't have the evolutions, I would still recommend running this deck, because this deck doesn't rely on the evolutions. They just make it better. And on top of that, if we kind of look at deck structure for this deck, you'll notice that I'm running one legendary, which is the miner, and I'm running two epics, the balloon and the barbed barrel. All three of these cards are like pretty versatile, right? Like they're not like one-trick ponies. You can use them in a lot of decks. And on top of that, one of my favorite cards recently has been the barbed barrel. With the log receiving so many nerfs, I think barbed barrel has actually taken its place as like one of the best small spells in the game. So if your levels are pretty similar and you're at a fork in the road deciding which one to upgrade, I would lean towards the barbed barrel. Especially in a deck like this, where the mini tank can help so much, because it can block the tower while your balloon's pushing in, which is just something that log can't do because it doesn't have its mini tank. So definitely something to be aware of there. And we're in the first match here against Ryder, and he's got a pretty like tough deck to defend, right? But luckily our deck is up for the challenge here, and we've done a pretty good job defending so far, and we're gonna see if we can keep that alive here. So if you know your opponent has a building, like this guy has Inferno Tower, I'm gonna drop my balloon one tile back from the bridge and all the way on the right, because it forces him to play his tower closer to his princess tower. And it's very it's honestly, and if he doesn't realize it and he just plays it in a normal placement in the middle, then it actually won't pull the balloon, which hopefully we can show at some point in the video here. But let's go for the Valkyrie. He does not have the Evo Furnace in hand anymore since he just played it, and now he's kind of in a tough situation where he needs to go Inferno Tower, right? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna snowball that and hopefully it dies quickly here. Come on, balloon, please. Ah, man, that Inferno survived on 1 HP, but we do get the Evo Archer connection out of it, and that puts us in the damage lead. So we're not able to get the balloon connection, but this deck does have a lot of ways of chipping out your opponent, so you can find other ways to get damage, which is super important. So we got the Furnace coming down, of course, here. He's going to go for an aggressive Firecracker, which honestly, like, go for it. Like, doesn't really matter to me. And, okay, let's see. Let's see if we can pull out this defense, man. If this deck can do anything, it is defend. Like, the defenses you'll pull off with this deck will be insane. I promise you that. So the Fisherman kind of commits suicide by pulling the Valk in close. We'll snowball here, and then we'll just finish out the defense. So things are getting a little sketchy here, but luckily we do have both of our Evos coming up, which basically just means a free defense. And do I want to go balloon here? Okay, I think I do want to go balloon. We have the Evo Archer still alive. I'm going to go miner to try and catch his Inferno Tower here. Yo, hold on, he goes with the eye tower, but the miner forced a bad placement. I have my snowball here as well to kill to push back the Furnace, and that's going to be a free 2 balloon shots right there. Yo, let's go. Evo Archer walking up as well. We get 3 balloon shots, and that's good game, man. Absolute monstrosity right there. With the minor kind of prediction, it forced a bad Inferno Tower, and that one mistake costed Ryder the whole game. One of my favorite things about this deck in the current meta is that we have a ton of answers for the Furnace, which has an insane use rate and has been a strong card this whole season. So starting off, we have the barbed barrel, which does a great job taking out the spirits and damaging the actual Furnace itself. And same thing for the Valk. It just does a very good job at cleaning up the Furnace. Even the evolution version, which can be such a pain to deal with a lot of decks, but that's just not the case for this one. And even on top of that, this is just a deck that's kind of solid regardless of the meta. This deck doesn't rely on any broken cards. We're not running a crazy Furnace or a Spirit Empress like our opponent here. We're just running solid cards that have been just good for a long time now. And this means that this deck is going to be solid, it's going to be reliable. You're not going to upgrade it and then it's going to be bad the next day. Like, I promise you, this deck will hold its value. And one of the great things about just the way this deck is built is that it teaches you how to defend with cycle decks. So this deck does have a lot of cards that are used in other decks, like whether you're playing Hog, Xbow, or really just any other cycle deck. Like, a lot of these cards can be used, even Goblin Giant, which is perfect because once you upgrade your first deck, the next question that comes to your mind is, what is the next deck that I can make that uses a lot of the similar cards? And this is a great deck for that. Honestly, just Miner Balloon in general, it teaches you a lot about the game, man. It teaches you when to attack and how much to commit to your pushes. Because often, if you start playing with this deck, there will be times where you overcommit. Maybe you play a bad balloon, maybe you overcommit with a miner with your balloon, or maybe you overcommit with your small spells while you're pushing with your balloon. A bad snowball even could lose you a game. But the fact is that you learn how much to commit and when, which is just something that not all decks will teach you, especially not Pekka Goblin Giant. Which, if you haven't realized, man, I despise some of the decks that are currently meta, alright? So I want to try and bring this back, I want to bring this game back to skill, so that's kind of my goal with this video as well. But like I said, this deck is kind of the core foundation is really just cycle cards, so that's something to make note of. And, ooh, okay, so yeah, so obviously we're in a pretty, like, not difficult matchup, I would say, but definitely a matchup where we have to play carefully, right? Because this deck guy does have some pretty gnarly cards. And just like that, he gets an Evo Goblin Giant on top of tower, but as long as we protect our archers here, I think we should be fine. Yeah, Spirit Empress is kind of going ham, but we're able to take everything out here, and we should be able to set up for our next defense. So we're not going to have to defend an Evo Goblin Giant this time, so that's always going to be great. Let's go for our Evo archers over here. He's been quick to Goblin Curse them whenever I put them near my tower, so yeah, we'll just go for the arrows and live to see the next day. Let's get a snowball to try and protect our Valk as long as possible here, and then do we defensive miner? I think not. Yeah, okay, pretty good defense right there. Now we have to defend an Evo Furnace. Like, I'm telling you, the decks in this meta, it's just one after another, man. Like, once you get done defending one broken card, the next one comes up. Okay, we need to be very careful here of these goblins trying to connect the tower. And you know what, we walk away with a pretty good defense once again, but our opponent is slowly chipping us down here with these Goblin Curse and arrows, but I think we can still make this work if we're careful. Let's go Evo Tesla, let's go with the archers here. We do still have the snowball as well, just to kind of clean everything up. Perfect. Oh no, those spear goblins though, not perfect at all. Okay, he spams a ground Spirit Empress, which is kind of interesting, not 100% sure about that. And at this point, he's trying to go all in, man. He's trying to take my tower, he's trying to cycle some spells, but we're not letting it fall just yet. But man, I'm telling you what, with his 3 spell cycle, it is kind of crazy. I don't even think I can go balloon here, to be honest. Let's just go Tesla, and let's just set up for his next Goblin Giant push, because it's probably coming soon. Maybe, wait, hold on, maybe we can make something work. Let's go Miner, maybe even catch a Furnace. Nice, okay, we do catch the Furnace. I can go Snowball here as well, maybe try and sneak through some balloon damage. He has to use his spells on defense, which is good. Balloon does connect. Hold on, this is definitely winnable, guys. I'm gonna go Miner the back. We can Snowball if he plays like a mini Pekka or something as well. Let's go Snowball. Perfect. Okay, we're keeping up good pressure. Miner's on top of tower. Can we get 2 more hits, Miner, please? No, we can't. Okay, we have to keep spamming. Fire Spirits, please don't connect. Fire Spirit, I'm gonna Snowball. No! Oh my goodness. Oh, we lost by 5 HP. Honestly, that was such a good match, though, and I feel like if I didn't get my last Miner caught, we would have won that, but you know, sometimes you just gotta play better. One of the best reasons to run this deck is probably one that you guys can relate to, and that's gonna be LogBait. No matter at what point of the Clash Royale career you're at, whether you're in low ladder, mid ladder, or high ladder, you're gonna face a ton of LogBait, and that's something I noticed a ton throughout my career, and that's why I wanted to make sure to pick a deck that is good into LogBait. This deck has the Bar Barrel, the Snowball, which are 2 very nice small spells. And we also have the Valk and the Evo Tesla to help kind of bail us out against all those nutty bait cards. So this deck definitely has some answers to that. And ooh, okay, so it looks like we're going up against the pretty common Berserker Graveyard Furnace deck, which is, you know, like I said, a lot of people run it, pretty common, and it actually is one of the tougher matchups for this deck, just because of how solid the air defense is, but we can still work around it nonetheless here. And on top of that, Cannoneer Tower Troop is definitely not what you want to see from your opponent, just because the DPS it deals does a lot to your balloon. Luckily though, the Cannoneer did receive that nerf recently though, so it does do a little bit less damage than before, which we love to see, of course. But we're gonna have to find a way to break through. This deck is not, sometimes you have to think outside the box. You have to switch up your offense, whether you're going in with your miner balloon, whether you're prioritizing your snowball. You really do need to keep your opponent on their toes, and this is gonna be a perfect time to go in. Our opponent doesn't have the Goblin Giant Cycle, which is, in my opinion, their best counter. So we're going to get some good value from this. And on top of that, they went with the Giant Skeleton, so that's going to be a large elixir commitment. So looks like he does opt to use his Evo Snowballs, so we're only going to get balloon death damage here, which is still fine. And okay, after that poison, I know that my opponent's down just a few elixir here. So do we want to punish? Honestly, I don't really think we can. We already kind of got our damage, so I'm going to go balloon, and then once the balloon tanks for the Cannoneer, I'm going to go miner behind. I know that my balloon, it's going to be very hard to get damage from, so I'm trying to prioritize getting damage from my miner here. We do get a trusty 300 damage, which is, honestly, I'm happy with that. I feel like that's a good outcome from that scenario. Barbaro is going to help take out the Furnace, which is just amazing, Furnace, anytime you can get that card off the board, you're probably in good shape. And I think he's going to go in here, so I'm going to try and block the bridge. And guys, it worked out, man. Let's go, blocking the bridge for the win. One of the best strategies to counter Graveyard. And so now his Giant Skeleton does cross. I'm going to make sure it does not walk to my tower. No, how? Oh my goodness, the miner just pushed it towards my tower. One vital mistake might end up costing me this game. Wait, it actually doesn't hit. Okay, never mind. I guess I'm just paranoid for no reason. Goodness, if that Giant Skeleton would have hit, I probably would have cried, but it's alright. Let's go miner here. We could even get a high value snowball, possibly killing the Ice Wiz and damaging these spears. Nice, okay, the Ice Wiz should die. Giant Skeleton's dead too. Miner is not going to make it to tower, I don't think. Yeah, Miner doesn't make it to tower, but we have a solid lead at this point. Peep the game, guys. We're playing this one kind of out of our mind. Thank you, Giant Skeleton, for not connecting still. Okay, so he goes in with his Berserker. We have evil archers on the board, so I'm really not scared of much right now. I'm going to go skeletons here, and one thing I actually noticed and kind of did without saying is that I noticed our opponent is running the poison. So that means split evil archers is going to be such a problem for this guy to deal with. And as you can see, he really didn't know what to do against him, and we got a ton of value because of it. So this is a time where I'd like to get more damage from my miner, but I think taking out the Furnace might be a better option here. So let's lean towards that, and then we'll take a snowball on top of tower as well. Pretty high value snowball, and we're slowly chipping him down, man. He hasn't really gotten damage on us in a while now, and I want to keep it that way. So let's set up for our Tesla here. I don't think going in for the balloon is a great idea, so we'll just go for the miner. And I'm not going to block the bridge this time. I feel like he might expect it, so I wanted to switch it up. And we do have the Evo Tesla, which does a great job against the graveyard. And he does sneak through some graveyard hits, but I think we live with that though. Oh no, that's actually a little bit more than I wanted to give up. Unfortunate. But we do have the miner. Maybe miner can get some damage. Oh, great snowball, pushing everything away, earning us a ton of damage back right there. Let's split our archers, and let's be ready to block the bridge here. Perfect. Had to take out that Giant Skeleton. He doesn't actually go in with it, so I think he kind of knows what's up. And he's switching lanes. Interesting maneuver. Okay, we need to be ready for this. Let's go for a miner on defense here. He's going to get some fair damage from it, but can we defend? Oh wait, yo, we're actually chilling still. Hold on, I need to get back to my snowball to make sure. Maybe miner on top of tower. It's gonna be close, guys. Let's snowball as well. He gets to the poison. Is it enough though? I don't think it is. And we win by 1 HP. Yo, what is up with these crazy games today? Oh my goodness, that's such a crazy win. I don't know how we pulled it off, man. But sometimes luck's not on your side like last game, and sometimes it's on your side like this game's. But I don't know, man. That's crazy. I don't even know what to say. But that's where we're gonna end the video for this one. If you guys want to see me play some more decks with this best free-to-play deck in Clash Royale, just let me know down below. But that's going to do it all for this one, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe if you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.